Yes, I'm on the road again and driving home, and Anchor Girl just sent me a photo of the first boat spotted on our canal this year. So guess where I'm going? Well, I drove through the marina. I drove past our condo and carried on to the marina, and I spotted the boat that Anchor Girl had seen earlier and sent me the photo of. It's a pontoon boat, I guess one of our neighbors, and it's parked down the way from us along the canal. But I also did spot another little boat just motoring in. Now it was starting to go behind some of the houses and condos, so I didn't have a chance to stop and film it. But I did come since I was here anyways, and it is a beautiful day. I decided to come aboard Boogaboo, which is where I am, and if you haven't guessed it yet, I'm down in the bilge in the engine compartment, stuck between our two big 454 gasoline engines. Oh, look at that. Isn't that a sight to see? And just checking things out and seeing, if there was any leaks or whatever over the winter. And the only thing I've seen that so far is there's a little drip on the starboard engine. Just one of the cooling lines. It looks like the clamp is a little bit loose. So I'll give that a crank down. And everything else looks good apart from the normal transmission seepage, which is on the port side engine, which has been like that since day one. When we originally bought when we bought this boat back in 2010 in the great state of Michigan in the U.S., of course, we had a complete marine survey as well as a complete mechanical survey on both engines, as well as the generator, which is right there, and full tune-ups and everything else, impellers and all that before we hit the road, so to speak, to drive the thing home. And pointed that out to the mechanic who looked at it, and he suggested that there's the seal between the engine and the transmission itself, and the seals on those sometimes start to go. So his words of wisdom were just keep an eye on it, top up the fluid as necessary, which the previous owner had been doing as well, even though he never admitted it to me, but I discovered after the fact about 3 quart liter, whatever you want to call it, containers of transmission fluid. So clearly that had been an ongoing issue. Not really, it's not a problem, and we've never had a problem with that transmission, knock wood. So hopefully we never do. But what happens is over the winter, as it gets cold, of course, and everything contracts, is that seal opens up a little bit and it drips down, and it looks a lot more dramatic than it really is. And throughout the season, I just clean it up. Fortunately, on this boat, the way it's designed, it's the bilge compartment down below the motors is sealed off from the rest of the bilge. So even if you had a major flood in there, which we did have one time, but that's another story for another day. The level has to get really, really high for it to breach this. I don't know if I can point this out. Back here, there's like a little berm fiberglass across there, and that's designed clearly to stop any engine fluids, oil, transmission fluid, or antifreeze, because these are closed cooling puppies. Just so that they're not going to, unless it's a catastrophic failure somewhere, they're not going to seep in to the rest of the bilge and then find its way out into the lake or ocean, river, wherever you happen to be traveling. So that's a good thing. So I just clean it up once in a while, periodically throughout the season, and obviously check my transmission fluid. It doesn't really even go down, but it puddles under there, and it looks, like I say, it looks a lot worse than it actually is. So the long-winded story. Again, remember last time I was here? the smell of the boat. And you know what? That nice, clean smell even percolates its way down here into the bilge because apart from the aforementioned, I keep this bilge pretty darn clean. I'll tell you, I've been complimented by more than one person over the years, and those who have been fortunate enough to find their way down into the bilge of Boogaboo. Oh. But anyways, yeah, it's clean. We were really lucky. Previous owners kept this boat up magnificently, and I've chosen to do the same, and even taking it one step farther, because I'm a little anal when it comes to those things. Sorry, but it's my German heritage. Don't hold that against me. But it's nice. Like I said, it smells good down there. It smells fresh, and I think we finally last year nailed the problems with the poop smell. And after all the work, I think we're there. So it's good. I'm happy. It's awesome. And yes, it is awesome to be sitting in the bilge of the boat again and not freezing my butt off too. Yeah, it's nice. Anyway, so that's about it. Sorry I don't have any moving boats to show you. Oh, another thing real quick. I phoned the marina on the way up and asked about our splash date, and they are saying probably not next week, but the week after. They haven't started lowering any of the boats here in the marina yet, and they're supposed to be starting that tomorrow. And they're going to start on the opposite side of this row of boats where we are. So tomorrow's already Thursday, so they'll get a few in. They might get a half dozen, if that, and then it'll take them the rest of next week to find their way down to the end to the river, and then they're going to apparently come back down this way. So probably won't even be in the water for next weekend, which is okay because I still got to polish the sides of the boat. So I hope to actually work on that this weekend. So you may see an update this weekend of me polishing Boogaboo's boat on the sides. Anyways, yeah, sorry. I, again, got off subject, but bottom line is very happy to be on board, even though we're still up in the air and I'm down in the bilge. Okay, whatever. Stay tuned for the next update, whatever it may be. Until then, cheers. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe so you don't miss any of the new videos coming out. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Daily updates there, and always lively conversation on Facebook, so you don't want to miss it. And you can also follow us at boatsbeachesandbars.com, where you're going to find even more links to all sorts of neat things, including our online store. And you'll find all the links to everything mentioned up here, down there in the description, so you'll have no excuse not to follow along. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.